Hey buds, and welcome to episode 4 of the Minecraft Let's Play. Today we are going to be mining out our massive bat cave and getting to work on some of the builds that I talked about in last episode. Now, as you all know, we stream on Twitch, so make sure to follow the Twitch, but right now what we're gonna go do is actually go live on Twitch and mine out the bat cave area. Well, not all of it, of course, because that would take forever, but a large majority, or large enough, for us to actually get started on it today. And we're back, everyone. After about 6 hours or so of mining out the bat cave, we have got a lot of work done. Now, obviously not enough, but still, it's going pretty alright. You might notice that now we have some really good diamond tools. We got a silk touch pickaxe, we got fortune 3, efficiency 4, unbreaking 3, and we actually have 5 diamond pickaxes. You might be wondering why there are so many sheep here. I swear I have a reason for keeping all these guys down here, and it's not just to annoy you guys. We're gonna be making a automatic sheep farmer, sheep shearer, I don't know, wool collector type thing. Can you guys get out of the... I know it's fun. I did that all of last episode, but can we please get out of there? So, like I was saying, we're gonna be making a automated sheep shearing system thingy. We're gonna be mining out a little indention, probably exactly where that andesite is, and we're gonna be making like a little alcove type beat for all of our sheep to be sheared automatically. Now, when I was figuring out how I wanted to make this, I kept on coming across something on the internet that looked very similar to this, but it looks very ugly. As soon as the sheep would eat the grass block, it would send a signal to this observer, which would in turn power this redstone and then hit the dispenser with all of the shears. It would then shear the sheep, and this hopper and a minecart would pick up the wool that would be dropped, and it would go into this hopper, which would then go into this chest. This design to me is just very ugly, and it's a lot of iron, and I don't want to do that. So I've taken the liberty of doing something a little bit more along these lines. So what I've done here is incredibly simple. It's basically the exact same thing as up there. There is an observer block underneath this dispenser. It will activate said dispenser. Well, it'll activate the redstone, which will activate the dispenser, which will shear the sheep. A redstone signal will be sent out, and that will push this piston with a glass, which doesn't harm the sheep. It'll push it, and then it'll go in this hopper. But I think overall, they both work pretty well. There we go. That was a perfect example. See? Look at us. Go team. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sheep. That is exactly what we're gonna get to work on. I'm gonna mine out a little area, and then I will begin making this. You know, as I was building this, I was thinking, what if we made the sheep be kind of in like a greenery area? And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so perfect, because while I was away mining diamonds off camera, off stream, I was just mining for diamonds, I got a wandering trader to give me some moss blocks. And I'm like, ooh, this kind of looks really horrible. But at the same time, I think we could really use this to make something look very awesome. So everyone, after about 30 minutes of setting all of this up, I have a nice starting point of what I want to do. I have a lot more plans for this place since we have, I believe 10 sheep in total, a couple more pens. So I think I'm going to try to get all 10 of them inside of here. And that way, we can have our automated sheep pen. Now you might be like, Elephant, what the heck are we doing? Why do we have a sheep pen? What do you need the wool for? This seems really counterproductive. Like, we've seen all the chests that you have upstairs. Why aren't you making a sorting system or something? Well, my friend, there is a very good answer to this. We are going to be getting into making massive villager houses, apartments, complexes, you name it. We're basically going to be building it. And with a lot of villagers comes a large supply of beds that will be required. And if we want for this village to be successful, we have to be smart about where we put these beds. And make sure 21 iron golems doesn't happen again. Also, what I was planning on doing with this wool is I want to make that library I talked about in last episode. And I'm going to be going for a bit of a more medieval style villager house, similar to the one that I'll be showing on screen, but not exactly identical. I want to be using white wool for our building structure, similarly to how I used white wool in my plains biome house in the video that's on screen right now, which if you haven't seen that, you might want to go check it out. You'll get a better view of my building over the years. I no longer build like my Pixelmon house about 6 years ago. I swear I'm getting better at the game, just bear with me, please. And here we are, everyone, the new and improved, finally finished automated sheep farm. Initially, this wasn't what I had wanted fully. I had wanted for there to be a giant acacia tree right in front of where I'm walking now, and for there to be a nice viewing area with a waterfall. But I've gotta say that this looks amazing. We have the hay blocks, we have melon blocks, we have those moss carpets scattered about, we have some glow lichen on the ceilings, as well as sugarcane with no visible water. I have to get all these sheep inside of the pen, and they're already looking at me fun. Maybe if I just open the door, one of them will run out, and then I can get them. Come on, baby sheep. Yeah, you mama sheep, come on. Okay, so this, I expect, when I come back from getting a bunch of our iron to make a crap ton of shears, I expect for you to be naked, like woolless, and I expect for there to be at least 5 wool in that chest. Now you are naked. Good job, sir. And 5 wool! That's the exact amount I wanted. I love you so much. I think that we can shear each sheep about 1,000 times before we'll need to refill. And, you know, we don't really have much of that iron that we need, so 4 will have to do for right now. Now, I get to put all these guys in their places, so if you will excuse me, I'm going to cry now. You know, surprisingly, this is actually really easy. Let me show you guys what I'm doing, because I always hear people complaining about how hard it is to get sheep in their automated farms. Look, I just let them go. Half the times, they just want to walk over there anyways. Grab them with this, walk them down. And since they're already, like, attracted to me because I have the wheat, I don't even have to do much. I just kind of got to put it in my offhand and push them in. It's literally just so easy. They're so cool looking, and they're already producing a lot of wool for us, which is awesome. Okay, so I have fixed some issues with this. I had this guy's hopper at the very bottom facing the wrong direction, and I was like, why won't it shear? And I was getting quite frustrated, but it's a good thing I went back to check. Everyone seems in place. I moved around some blocks to help with grass growth a little faster. The only downside that I can really see with this, the way it is that you can't easily turn it off. So things like changing the wool of the sheep is a little challenging. I remember spending about an hour in the last series of Sheep Farm for wool. For the duck statues, the fox statues, the bunny statue, Voldemort, for, like, it was a bunch of time that I could have been doing other things. And I'm like, here, if I make an iron golem farm here and I AFK with the sheep farm, that is, not only are there going to be a bunch of iron at our easy disposal, but there will also be a bunch of sheep. Now let's break this while we go and gather up some materials for that library, because I'm actually really excited to build this. Also, originally in this video, I wanted to get these 2 villagers all bred up and stuff, but since we just spent so much time on the sheep farm, I'm not going to get to you guys today. Also, here's our level 30 enchanting table, and here are the 5 other pickaxes that we have. We have Fortune 3. Right here, we have a Fortune 2 and an Efficiency 4. And also, we got glowberries, which I don't know what the heck they do, so please tell me. And we also got, Hermione the axolotl, which we found on our live streams. And, I don't quite know where I want to put her. Definitely want to wait till we get a name tag, but I don't know. In next episode, not only will we be making that villager breeder inside the mountain, but we will also be making some more a sorting system down in the Batcave, because we have so much crap that it's almost unbelievable. Okay, I have gathered up a lot of wood, and by a lot, I mean not very much, but enough for us to actually do a little bit of building here. Originally, I wanted for this to be a replay mod time-lapse, but since they have the 1.17 version locked behind a paywall, we're just going to be doing this the old-fashioned way, which is placing blocks. Okay, I think I'm going in the right direction here. I don't really know what the heck's up with this pathway. I'll have to figure that out later. I'll probably remove this section, but don't mind that for now. I think I'm kind of liking this design. And hear me out, I know I was saying I wanted to use the wool, and I still do want to use the wool, but I'm just like, what goes with this godforsaken block? What goes with it? But I think it's looking okay. I think what I'm leaning a lot to is to have the enchanting room, the full enchanting area, right in here. And I was like, well, what if we have this kind of open? But I don't really know. I'm tossing a lot of things up and down and around in my head a lot. Actually, before we continue building, I had an amazing idea to come down here and check how the sheep farm was actually going. Because remember, I've been loading in this chunk the entire time. So all of these guys should have plenty of wool for me. Let's see about these guys. Not bad. That's like a stack. So as long as I'm rendering in these chunks, like as long as I'm near the bat cave, those guys are going to be going. The only thing I've got to worry about is how many shears are in there. But awesome. This we'll use for the second story of our library. Okay, everyone. So about 30 minutes have passed, and I just want to make sure that you guys are seeing kind of my design ideas on this, I guess. I'm going to be adding more stuff here to make it look less boring, but on the inside, we have lovely bookshelves, because remember, this is where we're going to be putting that villager in our bat cave that doesn't have a job right now. They are going to be our mending villager, because I've gone through a lot of diamonds in the making of this video and all the live streams that I've done. And I don't want to keep on having to go down in the mines to gather up a crap ton of diamonds. I had originally put these bookshelves across here where the dirt was, and it actually looks really awesome. And to get level 30 enchants, I'm fairly certain all you need is 3, 3, and 3, and then 1 on top, 1 on top, and 1 on top. So if not, then that's okay as well. But it looks very, very gorgeous. I think that this is a really, really good use of like the views and everything, and it just looks so nice. Here we are. I haven't looked yet, so let's take a look. That actually really blends into the mountainside when you think of it. Even from up here, this doesn't look insanely terrible, and once that's all built up, this is gonna be awesome. But I had an idea. Hello, Mr. Chicken. I had an idea that, you know how I said we were going to be making a wall right here? Like, instead of just this one wooden pillar, we were going to be having a, kind of like down there where there's a solid wall of cobblestone, andesite, and, like, stone. What if, since we have this bat cave all the way down there, we made a secret exit? Like, I could hit a button, wait a second or two, and then I could walk in a position, and then the doors would open. I'd have enough time to walk out, and then the doors would close behind me. I think that that'll be awesome. In fact, I think I'm gonna do that. But first, we have to finish this. I am so determined, Mr. Chicken. Hype me up. So, I've been working here trying to find out what palette I really like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, and it kind of will match with, like, the wall up there. So I have the polished deep slate and polished deep slate steps or stairs or whatever. And I'm like, this looks super nice. Okay, everyone. So this has taken me quite the while, but I finally finished the house. Vibration noises, confetti, boom! Explosion in the background, boom! Okay, let's actually show it to you guys now. Tried my darndest to get kind of like that arched ceiling vibe. But here, this looks a little different than what we left it as. It's too big for me to even see all the way up, like, properly. But we'll just have to head inside then. On the inside, we have this lovely little seating area with a bunch of books, nice little lantern above the head, bunch of random crap on the floor because I'm an architect and I know what looks pretty. We have our little lectern block for our villager in the bat cave to come on down. We have our level 30 enchanting, yes folks, another level 30 enchanting area, which we might do some enchanting when I get some more levels. We might even be doing some more enchanting. So this is primarily where our mending villager to be will reside. Nice books, gotta read all day long, more shelving. Even if we need to, we can come in here and enchant. And upstairs, easy access to villagers. We have a lovely little white what is it called, a cabin vibe. Like, it's all lovely looking. Got trapdoors, some rafters up there. We have a nice little bed. Not very much of a view if I'm being honest, but with a balcony like this out into the valley side, you know, I don't really think you need anything else, to be honest. But I'm actually very, very satisfied with how this house has turned out. It's actually so cool. Just look at that. That blends in like so seamlessly with the mountainside. Like, that is so good. And you can kind of even see like the bookshelves right there. We got the nice waterfall in the background. Nice trees everywhere. That's kind of what I'm going to be aiming for. A lot of trees next to buildings. We'll probably have some buildings up here. Okay, well, enough of me freaking out over this build. We have another build to get to. And I believe, hopefully right here is where the bat cave is. And then we can make like a little secret entrance, secret exit way, I should say. This is shaping up to be so good. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I am absolutely amazed by this build. I just stuttered so hard. By this build world. I am so excited. Every time I log on to this, I'm like, oh yeah, we're just gonna be building something as cool as this. Like, I'm hyped every single episode. This is on the same level as the Batcave. We have an entire mountain to scale. Maybe we could work something out with this pond. Maybe we could have like a waterfall or something, and maybe we come out of the pond. That would be kind of cool. I kind of like that idea. I also am having a lot of fun streaming with you guys and playing on this world. Thank you, buds, for watching. And as always, remember, join the village today. It's only a click away.